What's up, everybody? I am back. It's your boy, Coach Turbo here. Remember, my Instagram is Turbo Spalding. And with our video today, I want to talk to you guys about the essentials of rolling out and what it can possibly do for your body. So there's a few everyday devices that I have on hand that I use personally for rolling out. One, I have a handheld roller here. Two, I have an actual roller here. And three, I have more of kind of like an advanced roller that I use to kind of get into some nicks and knack areas. And then I have a low back aid cushion, right? So I use all of these basically on an everyday basis when I get into my rolling out and my mobility circuits. But just for today, we'll talk just solely about rolling out. So a lot of people on a day-to-day basis may feel really achy, may be really sore from time to time, and we will use this as kind of like a first way to go ahead and create relief and increase mobility and flexibility in the body. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to start rolling out our ankles here. So for the video here, I'll use these different devices in the different areas just to show you guys the use of them, but I'll just be explaining what everything is as I go through my rolling out sequence here. So the first thing I'll do, I'll come to rolling out my calves, right? So I take my foam roller, I put it to the ground, and I usually put both of my legs on the roller. I usually go one over the other, and I would just start to roll my calf for about 10 to 15 seconds, rolling the inner, outer, and the inside part of my calf. So I'll spend about 10 to 15 seconds on each side. And for a lot of first-time people, this will hurt really bad. But I promise you, it's gonna get better as you continue to do this, right? So I roll out my ankles, or my calves, I should say. And we'll do that from the bottom of the Achilles all the way to the back of the knee. So we'll do that for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then I'll come up to my hamstrings. So I usually like to use my handheld roller here for my hamstrings. So I usually post my knee up, and then I'll just roll out the inner part, the outer part, just to kind of get into those areas. If I feel a little bit of tension in a certain spot, I'll stay there for a couple extra seconds. And I'll go over to my next leg. This is my leg that usually has like a lot of tension on it, so I'll spend a little bit more time here. So after we roll out, we'll go over to my quadriceps. So my quads are just from the top of my knee all the way up to the top of my hip. So I take my handheld roller, I put it to the ground, and I'll start with both of my legs. Where I'll just roll back and forth for about 10 to 15 seconds again. You can individualize by taking one leg and getting into it a little bit, and then you can go to the next. After we get the quads, we'll go over to probably one of the most problematic areas for people, which is the IT band. The IT band is just a tendon that runs from the side of the knee all the way to the side of the hip, where I'll keep my bottom leg straight. I'll come over with my top leg, and I'll use both of my hands as a way to just keep me balanced. And I'll just go from the side of that knee all the way to the top of my hip. So after I do that for about another 10 to 15 seconds, if you need more, you can take your time. Then I'll go into probably my favorite one, and I think this is everyone's favorite one as well, just because it's very easy, but it also gives a lot of relief as well. So we'll come into foam rolling my back. So I'll place the roller at the lower part of my back. I'll bring my hips or my legs a little bit towards my hips. I'll hoist up off the ground, and I'll just roll back and forth. Ooh. So as you roll here, you'll notice that you'll hear a bunch of cracks which are just releasing from your spine, and you'll notice that really the upper part of my back is going to hold a lot of tension. So I always tell people to try to hug yourself and roll that upper back, which will give you a little bit more area to kind of get into those nicks and those muscles in that upper back. Ooh. So after we do that for about 10 to 15 seconds, the last one I want to come into is probably my favorite, but my least favorite as well. But it gives me a lot of relief in my lower back. So we'll roll out our glutes as the last part of the video. So I'll take the roller, I'll put my leg that I want to roll, right, on the roller, and I'll place that hip. With this leg, I'll just bring my leg like so, and I'll roll my hip out in a side-to-side fashion. And then I'll do that for both of my legs for about 10 to 15 seconds. Woo! Didn't know it would have been like this trying to make a video, but hopefully after you guys try that or try this circuit here for rolling out, you should feel a lot better. You should feel a little bit more loose. So the tissue will get released, you'll feel a little bit more blood flow, and you'll feel a little bit more mobile as well. So next videos that are upcoming will be some mobility circuits. We'll expand on rolling out, and then we'll continue to grow. So I'll see you guys soon. Remember, check my Instagram out at Turbo Spalding, and boom.